I teach people how to grow 7 income streams from home in about 5 to 10 hours a week.
Martha teaches affiliate marketing and generates north of $20 million a year with that. I'm Matt Bellman, and this is $1 Million Creators, where you can learn how to become a $1 million creator yourself.
Oh, we make over 7 figures a month.
How can you turn an online presence into an income-generating machine?
The size of the audience, I think it's something like 3.34 million.
Meet Martha Krejci, a master of SEO, organic traffic, and personal brand building.
Don't chill too much, because if you chill too much, then it starts going down.
Martha Krejci is an absolute powerhouse when it comes to SEO, organic traffic, and personal brand building. She uses these 3 skills together beautifully to teach everyday people how to make sustainable and even scalable income with affiliate marketing. She comes with no ego, just a heart to serve. Thank you so much for being here.
Yeah, thank you. This is fun.
Yes, let's start off with, why do you do what you do actually?
Yeah. Well, I think we all, whenever we start any sort of business, we're addressing something that we didn't have before, or we should be, kind of, in my opinion. And so why I do what I do is because I needed it it was about 10 years ago now. I needed it. I needed somebody like me to explain what was real, what was, how to be able to do things. And so one day there was a tipping point for me. And I used to work at GoDaddy. Okay. And whenever I was in leadership, and I was sitting in my little carpeted cubicle, smelled like the 60s. We're all familiar with that place. And one day I got a video came through on my phone, and it was from my husband. And I'm like, what? He doesn't usually send me videos while I'm working. I look at the video, and no joke, it was my daughter, my only kid, taking her very first steps. And there was part of me that was like, yes, this is awesome. And then immediately, like, reality sunk in. And it was like, oh, shoot, I'm not there. Like, she's not walking towards me, she's walking towards daddy's camera or daddy's phone, and she doesn't see me in this moment. Now, is she going to remember that? No, because she was too young, but I'll never forget it. And in that moment, I had like the feeling of, are you okay with this? Right? I think we hit these points at different points in our life. We hit these moments, and they could be moments that take us into a whole new destiny, right? Or they could be moments where we say no, and we just keep going around, but we keep hitting them regardless. I've noticed that. I'm old. I've noticed that. And whenever I hit it, it was like, well, are you okay with this? Basically, are you okay with missing these things? And at that moment, I said, no, I'm not okay with it. I quit my job. I started an agency, blah, 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 bobbing and weaving here and there. And then we are where we are now. But the reason that I started it is because I needed me back then to show me how to be able to navigate what this looks like.
Clear. And in your previous life, you said GoDaddy, right? Like, what did you do? Were you like marketing manager, or what was your?
Oh no. I worked in restaurants for about 14 years, a really long time. Yep. First of all, like, holler to all the people that work in restaurants, because that is boot camp for anticipating people's needs, which will take you very far in business, just so you know. But at GoDaddy, I started at the very bottom. I started on the phones, customer support. I just moved up quickly. So I moved through hosting. I moved through, it moved into leadership, and I was in leadership whenever I left. So I had, basically had my one-on-one contact with small businesses left and right, always, in helping them do the things that they were trying to do. And sometimes the things that they were trying to do weren't things that we technically or technologically had a solution for. And so I had to kind of get creative, like, okay, well, here's what you want. Here's what we have. How do we somehow make it work? So there was just a lot of problem solving involved in it. But yeah, I started at the bottom and moved up into leadership. And then that's when I left. And they've supported me since. So
makes sense. Let's talk about today. What's your core offer? Like, what is it that you offer? Like, what do I get as a customer?
Yeah. So I have, my free challenges, that sort of thing, and many, many lead magnets or ways in. But whenever you get into like the meat and potatoes or the meatloaf, as I call it, of what I offer, that's where I teach people how to grow 7 income streams from home in about 5 to 10 hours a week. And it's around things that you already know, right? So it's this whole like infopreneur sort of lifestyle, but it's in an organic way that if you don't want to run ads, you don't have to. It's basically on building personal brand and creating a loyal audience around you and then serving them.
Got it. And all of that is online, right?
Yep.
And what are price points? You said like free lead magnets and challenges,
Yep.
likely a tripwire, maybe. Like, well, what's the how does the value ladder look like?
Yeah. So yeah, there's free. I think the next level up from that is 97. Next after that's 297. Next after that's 997. Next after that is 1497.
That's the highest.
I don't go higher than that. Yeah. I serve families for the most part. And so I know like my families, typically they're not in that place until they work with me long enough. But I don't have the time to commit to a higher price point offering because it requires a lot from me also. And I don't have it.
Yeah, got it. What do I get on the highest price point? Is it, let's say, on demand plus weekly Zoom calls, or like, how does it work?
No, actually, the highest price point is custom, right? So that's my bespoke thing. So that's where I actually go in and determine who and I call it bat signal. So and it's kind of like your avatar or whatever. But I go in and I like create this 40 to 60 page report, totally drilling down on who your person is. Because if you get that wrong, everything else doesn't matter, And so to really nail down who that person is, that's what the 1497 is. And then also a business plan to promote to those people. Like, what are those people actually looking for and what will they pay for? And then kind of creating your own value ladder from that.
Okay, got it. So the outcome is I pay 1497. I get a custom bespoke, let's say, strategy paper of my personal brand that will work better out there to attract people to then build up my business. Is that correct?
Yep.
Okay, got it. What's the funnel from awareness to I get my credit card out?
The funnel is there's many different ways, right? Which I think we should have many different ways. I have a YouTube channel. There are different social medias. So there's the awareness is kind of in that space. And then whenever you come in, typically they're going to either grab a lead magnet or jump into the challenge. I then give additional free trainings after that because I like a system of free, and then ask, just to really be able to solidify the fact that I'm here for them and I'm not just here for money, right? And so free, and then ask. So usually whenever they come in, like say to a lead magnet, they get their lead magnet campaign at that point, and then the campaign drives to another free. And then that campaign drives to then, a lower ticket, yada, yada, yada. So it just goes up via email marketing or campaign.
Yeah, makes sense. What tools do you use to deliver value?
Like CRM wise, is that what you're referring to?
Exactly, CRM for like, I don't know, building the papers. If there are courses, like what do you use there? If you use community, like what tools do you use?
Yeah. I have for the courses currently, I have something that we have built out like custom. I for my CRM and for email marketing and all of that, I have something a friend of mine actually built, and it's not a white label GHL. But a friend of mine actually built this thing, and I've been using it for like 4 years, and it's amazing. So I use that, which is really cool. It's called Attractwell. And for the papers, it's just a doc. It's just a Word doc, right? I actually do my own research on those, so there's not anything else with it. It's just a Word doc to be able to deliver on.
Got it. And when did you launch this whole thing? Like, take me on a timeline.
Yeah. This iteration, I launched in, I want to say late 2017, early 2018 is whenever this started. And it started in I created a directory first. I do a bunch of nerdy big things first, and then I whittle down to like what's actually necessary for people. I don't know if anybody else has that problem. It's like we go big and then we're like, actually, they really just want this. So I created a directory for people, and then that was just like so much upkeep. Sure, you're familiar. It's just like there's so many moving parts to it. There's so much customer support for it, blah, blah, blah. And so then we went into, okay, well, instead of a directory, the reason I did directory is because I know SEO so well. And I'm like, well, I can SEO the snot out of this directory, and then that can help these businesses, right? And then it just became such a headache, honestly, that
Yes.
that you're like, yes. And that I then moved into, okay, well, let me just show these people what I know. Let me just show these people how to do the thing I know how to do. And so then it went into kind of like I used Teachable at that point. And it was just kind of like a bunch of mini courses. Here's how you do SEO. Here's how you blog. Here's how you blah, 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 blah. And then it went into a couple courses that were standalone, and then those blew up. And then whenever those blew up, I shrunk everything down to just hit the niche that I wanted to hit. And so that's how it's all just kind of, it went from here to like here.
Yep. And that most recent iteration is then like 20, I mean, not 17, because that was a directory. It must be 2021, something
It
like that.
was 2020. It was August of 2020 is when the most recent iteration
Okay, 3 years
kicked up.
ago.
Yeah.
Nice. So let's maybe talk about success. How many paying customers do you have today?
Oh my word. I don't know the answer to this. It's between 30 and 40,000. I don't know the actual answer for that. But that's how many
Amazing, amazing.
ish.
And let's say monthly, like this, like what is it now? Almost end of, let's say October. Like what's a typical amount of customers that is coming in?
Oh gosh. In this month, well, this is going live Q1, yeah. We're recording a little bit behind, so I'm just going to kind of bring awareness to Q4 is usually you have some weird stuff because of the holidays.
Typical month.
Typical month, okay. About 5,000 people ish.
Wow, that's amazing. That's amazing. And then you have, I mean, a lot of free stuff, right? Free, and then only some go into the paid ones. But I mean, if you get 1,000 into paid, that's like 100K a month.
Oh, we make over 7 figures a month, but that's with everything, right? Yeah.
Amazing. 7 figures a month, crazy. And that is mainly one time or recurring?
Some things are recurring. Most of our stuff is one time because we know people feel security and safety in that, which is good. But then they can opt into things that are recurring, right? So, but the recurring is there's a $47 a month recurring and a $97 a month recurring. So they're very nominal, but there's a lot of people that jump into them.
How much? So how much? Like I said, like 10% of the revenue is like recurring then, huh?
Yeah, that's about right.
Yeah. Okay. Wow, that's amazing. And compared to a year ago, was like what's like? I'm thinking like trying to understand growth, right? Is that kind of like since it blew off in 2020? Is it like growing like crazy every year, or is it like stable?
Yeah, well, that is directly proportional to how much I am actually doing, right? And that is what I have discovered because whenever it blew up, and I think everybody needs to hear this because there's a part of your brain that is like, okay, we're good. I can chill for a minute. Don't chill too much because if you chill too much, then it starts going down.
Yeah.
Because the work that you do this month is the sales you're going to get next month. You know what I'm saying? And so like you're going to see it's directly proportional. Now, am I saying that you need to be a dancing bear every day? Not necessarily. But if you have a strategy where it makes sense, where you're like, okay, well, I need to do this, this, and this, and it doesn't need to be a lot of stuff, but you need to keep doing the things. There were times where I quit doing the things, like I lost my mom, and there were different things where I was like, I just need to like chill for me. And it's a personal brand, so we should be able to do that. But also I saw a decline after that, right? But
Yeah, yeah.
whenever I kicked back up, then it kicked back up. So,
It's a bicycle. Once you
hmm
stop,
yes.
then
hmm
it stops slowly. Okay, that makes sense. So
Yep.
like a year ago, then I don't know, like still 7 figures a month, or like
Yeah.
in the six.
Yeah. It was still 7 figures a month. Um, because we
Can
still
you
had
share
enough.
like what is like 7 figures? Is it like 1 million? Is it like five? Is it 10?
Um, it's between 1 and 3. So it's
Yeah.
not, we're not beyond that right now. However, we're getting ready to launch something pretty soon, which might take us there, which I think is probably going to be the vehicle that takes us there.
Nice. I mean, that section is coming in a second where I ask about the future. Before, quickly, like lead generation, customer, how do you get customers? Um, what's the audience size? Maybe let's start there. What's the biggest channel? What's this channel you started out on?
Yeah, Facebook. And I think that's because of my age and my own people's age, right? We're all there. It's kind of like the neighborhood bar of
Yeah.
people my age. Um, but the size of the audience, I think it's something like 3.34 million on Facebook anyway. And yeah, that's the way that I gain access, I guess, to my audience is just befriending people that also take care of my people in a different way than I do, right? And so they can serve my people too. I call them super friends. They serve my people too, but in a parallel way. And so I bring them in to serve my people, and then they in turn, it's the law of reciprocity, they in turn bring me in to serve their people. And it's just grassroots growth. And so it allows somebody to actually be able to find you or discover you and have that moment instead of like feeling sold to. It's almost like, oh my gosh, where did she come from? Because I show up like this all the time. I'm like in a hoodie. You would not know me from anybody. But whenever people hear like the tactics and that sort of stuff, they're like, oh my gosh, where'd you come from? And then I get to be theirs, right? And then they share with your friends and that sort of thing, which is just cool.
I mean, not many people are growing these days on Facebook. So maybe like compare that to a year ago. Was it also 3.3
Yeah.
or?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I didn't look at the numbers of the actual audience last year because I wasn't even running ads. I didn't run ads 2020, 2021, or 2022. I just recently started running ads because of this new thing that's going to come out. I just recently started like getting some awareness ones. And so I know the size of the audience because of that. And that was just in the last 6 weeks. So I've never run ads.
Nice. Okay, I mean, so many questions. One is like main geo is US.
Maine is US, Canada. I do have people all over the world. Australians like me a lot, which is interesting. But yeah, it's usually Canada, US, Australians. Mexico is starting to also kick up as well.
Clear. Prepaid ads. Oh, I still like, how do you get customers? Like, let me try to debrief. You have customers. Once they promote themselves with their new strategy, that activates all their network, and all their network learns about you, and they also then become curious and aware of you. And for that reason, you grow to 3.3 million. So it's like a really nice referral scheme that essentially build you over. I mean, like 3 years. Like when did you grew pretty quickly then?
I grew really, really fast. It was, yeah, the 2020 was like that really big kickoff. And it does come from like my own students and that sort of thing. And then those referrals as well. But then it's also just like, it's keeping an eye out for who's really doing good things for people in your space as well. So like there are some people making documentaries, like just in the media, right? There are people making documentaries about stuff that I really care about. So there was a friend of mine, well, now she's a friend of mine, and she made a documentary about homeschooling, and we homeschool. And a lot of my people homeschool, right? And she made a documentary about that. And I'm like, oh my gosh, let's partner up and let's do some things. And so like it's just really paying attention to what's happening in in that vein. Does that make
Yeah,
sense?
makes sense. Totally. Got it. And biggest potential channel going forward, still Facebook, or do you think there's something else out there?
YouTube has always been big for me also. It's been Facebook and YouTube. Um, Instagram is weird. I have a lot of followers, but like, I don't
No
know
business.
why. Like, I don't know. Yeah, I don't really like do a lot or anything, but that's so I'm kind of just dipping a toe to see what's going on in Instagram. But um, anything with short video, anything with short video.
Got it. Let's talk about cost expenditures. What's your team today? Is it you? Is it like, how big is it?
My team these days, we run lean and mean, and I love it. There are, oh man, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's 7 of us all together. My COO, who is like she's basically my just project manager. She handles everything. She was my very first hire. And she basically was like a VA at that point and then did her job really, really well. And now she just manages everybody else doing their jobs. But yeah, we run tight.
Nice. So like your main expenditure is then team, or is there anything else? Because like you don't really have paid ads, right? So maybe a couple of tools, but it's like essentially team and that's it, isn't it?
Yep. Yeah, it's just team.
Referral commissions? Is there
Yep, I have
something?
affiliates too. Well, I teach
Yeah.
affiliate marketing, right? And so
Yeah.
I my own students are affiliates, but then also I have other partner affiliates as well.
Makes sense. Let's talk about the future. So can you get it up to 10x by yourself? So what is that actually? 2 million times 10, 20 million
Mm-hmm.
a month.
I'm not scared of that number at all. I think so. I think so. I think with the new thing that we're getting ready to launch, it gets people what they want quickly and easily. And so that as long as I communicate it well, it shouldn't be difficult in my opinion.
Got it. What's the best strategy then to win big in the next 12 months?
I mean, when you have people like Hormozy even saying personal brand is where it's at and saying he used to poo-poo it before, but saying like you really do need to double down in that space. I think people need to know who you are, period. They're being served up ads for people left and right. There's nothing wrong with ads, but they need to also know who you are first or in addition. So
100%.
that's what matters.
Biggest thing that is holding you back?
I don't think anything's holding me back.
That's fine. Let's move over to another section called Famous Five. What's your
Okay.
favorite book?
Oh man. Well, the Bible. I'm a Christian, so there's that. Now another book besides that. Oh man.
Hormozy, something, I don't know. I
Well,
bet.
Hormozy, anything. Yeah,
Okay.
I'll listen. I'll listen to all of that. We'll just say that. Yeah, the
Favorite
100
person,
million
favorite
offer. What's that?
100 billion offers. Favorite person that you are studying?
Hmm. I'm always studying my people. So
Yeah.
the people that I study are the people that I serve. So that's them.
Favorite social media channel for inspiration?
For inspiration. It's not a channel necessarily, but it's short videos. Like as I go through short videos, so whether it's Instagram or whatever.
Yeah, that's fine. Okay. Favorite online tool for building your company?
Like an online tool. Attractwell. Attractwell's done really well for me.
Attract well?
Attractwell. Yeah, that's the thing that my friend
Oh,
made
yeah.
that
You
we've
shared
been
it
using.
earlier.
It works really well.
Biggest thing on your mind?
We're getting ready to move to Texas and start a ministry there. So that's taking up a lot of bandwidth in my head. Yeah.
Good. Moving over to the personal section. How many hours do you sleep per night?
Oh, shoot. 8 to 9.
Good.
Yeah.
What's the situation? Married, single, any kids?
Married, 1 kid.
Yep. And what's your age?
Oh, shoot. How old am I? 43.
Nice. Okay, we also want to give some advice. Final question. If you could go back in time and have a conversation with your 20-year-old self, what's the best piece of advice that you would give to your younger self?
Oh, man. Seriously, the 20-year-old version of myself was drank a little too much. I'm just going to say. So I quit drinking about 10 years ago. So and it's made all the difference for me. So I
Yeah,
would just tell her, take her
stop
easy.
drinking.
Yeah.
Okay. uh, Amazing. Well, thank you so much. This is Martha. Martha is an affiliate marketer, more or less.
Yeah.
Helps people with personal brand building as well. She has a lot of the offers, lots of free stuff, but then going up all to 14.97, which is not that much of a price point, but she has a ton of customers actually on that. And that sums up to a really nice 7-figure monthly income. She is predominantly on Facebook, where she gets customers and where she's growing to a more than 3 million audience over the years. She started this whole thing 2017 soft, 2020 more reasonable or more serious. And yeah, it's just crushing it all the way. So thank you so much for sharing your passion and taking us to the next level.
Oh, man. Thank you for having me. This has been fun.
Yeah, same.
That was Martha Krejci. You learned how a referral engine paired with personal brand building can generate millions a month. So how can you unlock the next level in your business?